Fred Dawson here with Screenplays. We're at IBC in Amsterdam, and we happen to be at the stand of Edgeware, which of course is one of the leading providers of advanced CDN technology in the world. We have the privilege of spending some time with John Healy, who's the Vice President of Marketing and Product Development at Edgeware. Thanks a lot, John, for taking some time to speak with us.
You're welcome.
Amazingly, after coming to this show over many years and watching what's happening in the United States and seeing, things moving very slowly here in the U.S. racing ahead with TV everywhere and that kind of thing, it's all changed. I mean, things are going crazy here. What do you see as the movement amongst your clientele, which is the network facilities providers, to go beyond what they've been doing in TV everywhere to full multi-screen service?
I mean, we're seeing a real shift now with service providers moving away from basically what was previously a churn-reducing service to a true pay TV service on multi-screen. So that means taking all of their live channels, all of their play channels and catch-up, and all of their VOD content and making it available on all devices. So it's a huge shift, and we're seeing a huge number of RFQs and RFIs in that direction now.
How does that translate into a different model than just reducing churn? I mean, are there monetization opportunities that they're exploiting around this?
Sure, yeah. I mean, a number of service providers that we're working with now are starting to charge extra for their multi-screen services. So they're actually, maybe putting a €5 per month subscription on it as an extra charge, or they're bundling it as part of a premium upgrade to a higher level package within their triple play offerings. So they're generating real new revenues as well as increasing subscriber bases as well.
How does this impact what you're offering, or the use of your technology compared to the way it's been used?
I mean, there's a big shift away from a good enough delivery system, and we're all about the content delivery side, and we offer a complete solution for service providers wanting to deliver multi-screen video. There's a big shift away from a good enough solution to something which really must represent pay TV quality. So
on any device?
On any device at any time, regardless of the mix of services, regardless if everyone's pressing pause, if everybody's starting over services, if everybody's looking at different VOD files. There's a real requirement now to guarantee quality of experience and deterministic performance down to the end users, and that's really what Edgeware is all about. We have a hardware accelerated appliance at the core of our offering, as well as tightly integrated control and management software that ensures that quality of experience regardless of that mix of service and the number of customers that you're delivering to.
So it's not just cashing it and letting it go. It's really a whole lot of processing that's going on to make sure that it's maintained in the highest quality over that last mile.
Yeah, exactly. And very importantly, as I say, it's quite easy to deliver, maybe 1,000 streams with reasonably good quality. But as soon as you go from 1,000 to 1,000,000 simultaneous streams, and you start actually recording at the same time, then you've got egress problems on your file system, on your TCP stack, etc. So you really need to accelerate that with hardware, which is what we do.
And beyond the hardware, what are you doing at the software level to facilitate this whole multi-screen agenda?
So we have a number of features built into our control and management software that enable, again, detailed and real-time monitoring of the quality that's being delivered from each individual server within the network down to each individual client device. We have a number of features built in which provide load balancing even when you actually go back to origin servers to collect content, so that you can effectively load balance from the CDN and reduce costs and total cost of ownership, removing load balancing. And we also have features enabling, for example, content-aware clustering. So you can put together a cluster of servers in a network POP, and in order to maximize your backhaul offload from that caching POP, you're able to cluster them together to spread the content across the cluster, so that you only go back to the core or the origin servers across your backhaul for very seldom cache misses.
Now, when you speak of a cluster like that, are you talking about a cluster as in multiple edge points, or are you talking about multiple server blades in one location?
So multiple server blades within a location.
Okay.
I mean, in a lot of cases, you need at least 2 for redundancy if you really want to protect that location and ensure capacity. But in other cases, you need significant performance from that POP. That's where you can scale them together.
So with that kind of elasticity, how does that play into this whole idea of balancing the origin servers? Explain to us that added component of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 really separate technologies. The first one is content-aware clustering in the edge POP. So you're spreading your content across the cluster and minimizing your backhaul, minimizing the number of times you go back to the core nodes and the origin servers. When you do actually end up going back to that core node and origin server, then what you need to do is to load balance the requests across those origins. So either you deploy quite expensive load balancers that enable you to deliver that performance, or you move that intelligence down to the CDN. So when you have your cache misses, you spread your requests for content across those origin servers.
So you have to know what's where to be able to do that. So how does that information get put into that edge intelligence, other than by virtue of somebody asking for it from a particular server and it registers with that server and then the next server that it comes from, or something like that?
So we use a combination of URL addresses as well as DNS technology as well. So if there are DNS servers that are used in order to look up a number of different origin servers, then we can use that information in order to determine where the content can be found from the URL.
Okay, interesting. As far as the monetization side of things, one of the things I'm seeing is a tendency, at least here in Europe, toward wholesale kinds of products. One has to do with wholesaling your CDN capabilities. You build something like an Edgeware network out there. You've got capacity maybe to offer it to other people and in your own territory to be kind of a local CDN or whatever. The other one is to actually bundle all this up into a turnkey transport, and with some partner in multi-screen cloud platforms, offer a wholesale TV service that ISPs can then buy from you and sell retail under their brands. Are you seeing some of this stuff, and how is it affecting some of your customers?
Yeah, we enable it. So once you've deployed your DVDN, our solution, our CDN solution as a service provider, and you're delivering your own content to multi-screens, then with a fairly simple upgrade, you can add what we call multi-tenancy. So you can now virtualize that network and sell capacity on that network to OTTs. So you can either do that directly as a direct sale to an OTT if you're an ISP, or if you're a carrier, then you can actually enable that as a wholesale model to ISPs within your network as well.
So you're seeing both of those approaches? Yeah,
actually we're seeing much more of the first approach, where effectively an ISP will sell capacity on their CDN to the OTTs directly. That seems to be the more regular approach at the moment, but really it seems to be at the moment very much a bolt-on business to the deployment of their own multi-screen service as a potential additional revenue building exercise. So I don't think the business models are exactly worked out yet for how this is all going to pan out.
At some point, you got to ask how many aggregators can there be out there selling the same thing, and it gets into a level of commoditization that changes the business models all up and down the value chain. So I guess it's going to take a while to work this out, because it's getting damn easy to just go put the pay TV out there. As far as your own technology is concerned, of course, quality assurance, the metrics that you're generating, you've done that in a different way. It's like you've got a separate layer devoted to that and all that information. How is that working out as far as the use of it in the marketplace?
It's working out really well. I mean, once you start trying to monitor a real-time delivery of an adaptive bitrate session, and you scale that up to many thousands or millions of concurrent viewers, you're dealing with millions and millions of small fragments. And rather than logging all of those small fragments, then what we do is we create a virtual session, even if it's ABR content. And that means that you maybe reduce from 1,000 log entry requests down to maybe 10. So we have a very effective method of reporting in real time back to an analytics system exactly what the quality is looking like at any point in time, even for massive scale services.
So you're basically getting away from being a victim, if you will, of fragmentation, in the interest of collecting useful data in an efficient way instead of just a lot of bits from every fragment.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not deep dive analytics, but it gives you those real-time indicators in terms of the quality of experience that each device is undergoing at any point within the service. So it really is all about real time. Yeah. And we have it deployed in a number of service providers. Telia, for example, is running their Play Plus multi-screen service using that. We also have deployments with people like Belgacom that we announced today here at the show.
Oh, you announced today?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
What is Belgacom doing?
So Belgacom, we deployed around 12 months ago. We helped them start deploying their multi-screen service. And we announced that today along with some of the figures that they're seeing as a result of the success. They're deploying all of their content basically to iPads, connected TVs, mobile telephones and other multi-screen devices, and seeing good growth from it.
And what kind of metrics, what kind of measures go into their assessment of success? What are they looking for?
So they're looking to charge for the service. The Belgacom TV Partout or TV Everywhere service is charged at around €5 a month. So they're looking to generate additional revenues from it. They're also, of course, looking to increase their subscriber base as a result of offering that.
They're looking for market results, not just metrics.
Absolutely. They're looking for real extra revenues, extra ARPU growth, etc. And they're a long way to achieving very good results.
Well, that makes for a very good story with respect to the advantages that come of putting some money into some good hardware at the edge, huh?
Absolutely. I mean, one of the key reasons they cite themselves for selecting that hardware was because when they launched the service, it was around live football. And for those first live football events, they had really no idea how quickly those apps would be downloaded and how many subscribers they would have online. And what they could do with us was just scale instantly using that hardware technique. So.
And you don't want a lot of very upset subscribers.
Especially not for live football in Belgium.
Yeah.
Not good.
Okay, well, John, thanks for sharing this. It's really been very helpful.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Cheers.